DuckTalks is part of Res TV's network of podcasts. Check out res.tv for other great podcasts.
So, what are we doing here anyway?
As upstanding citizens of note, it's our responsibility to support Duckburg's cultural institutions. And these cocktail weenies are on Glomgold's dollar.
Aren't you rich? Why do you need free food?
I didn't get rich by wasting money. I got rich by besting my enemies. Stock up, lads.
It's the week of Tuesday, June 26th, and you're listening to episode 29 of DuckTalks. Hey there, and welcome to DuckTalks. We're looking forward to talking about DuckTales, all things DuckTales related, and, marshmallows, Kingdom Hearts, all kinds of great stuff tonight. We've got a lot to get to, as usual. Isn't it crazy how much DuckTales news there is every single week? Especially having an episode to cover as well. I mean, that's got to be half of our episode.
It's ridiculous. We could do a whole week. A whole week long show. And no one would listen to it.
Just come on every evening at 10 o'clock and just start talking about DuckTales.
And then we'd be like, 10 people downloaded it. but we talked for 10 hours.
Yeah. We shouldn't do that, so we won't do that tonight. Hey, my name's Mitch. I'm one of your hosts.
Ahoy there, it's Pirate Steven. I'm here a lot. Oh.
Hey guys, it's Josh, CC Runner 524. Woo-hoo!
Cool, so we got the whole gang here, and not only that, we've decided that doing a live show wasn't enough with 3 hosts. We needed to try and stretch this a little bit further. We're talking Kingdom Hearts, and the issue there was that Josh and I have never played Kingdom Hearts. Right, Josh? You've never played Kingdom Hearts.
Absolutely not. I have no idea, other than they all have cool little costumes and people with funny keys.
Yeah, I don't get the keys thing either. So, but you know what? I just realized I have played Kingdom Hearts. I downloaded the mobile game and turned it on and then deleted it. So I don't know if that hurts my cred or what. But we will get into Kingdom Hearts. We'll learn about some Kingdom Hearts. Pirate is probably one of the longest holding pre-orders for a video game in history for Kingdom Hearts 3. So he is ready for it. But we wanted to have some conversation, and it's kind of hard to do that if Josh and I are just asking a bunch of questions. So we invited Jason to join us.
What's on? I am Jason. Jason So Hella Scary.
How you doing, Jason?
Doing great. So we're going to talk about Kingdom Hearts, and you broke my soul when you just told me that you downloaded the mobile game then deleted it. I'm broken right now.
Well, it was one of those things where I jumped in. Okay, so I'm the type of guy that does not jump in mid-season on a show. I will wait until I can get a hold of the beginning of the season to start it. Or even so when my wife and I started watching 24, it was in the 3rd season. We cut it off. We went and bought the first 2 seasons and watched them before we started catching up. So when I started that game, I was like, I have no idea what's going on and I can't handle this.
Something about the mobile game. The mobile game actually takes place before anything any of the games.
Oh.
So just FYI. If you guys have played Birth by Sleep and you're like, hey, I want to know what the Keyblade Wars is. The Keyblade Wars is actually Unchained Key, which is the mobile game, or Unchained X because people don't know Greek letters. But that you pronounce it. You pronounce it Kai, but Kingdom Hearts pronounces Key because it's a key.
Oh, interesting. Well, we're definitely going to get into more of that and talk about that game. I know a lot of people were interested when we said we were going to talk about it. Last week, our chat just lit up. People were excited, and they were like, let's talk about it this week. We were like, no, that's next week. This week, we're recording live once again, and we want to welcome everyone in the chat. I see we've got Eric with us. I see Monica Pink Pearl Apple is with us again. I see ours is with us, and Rocket Usagi is with us. And then, of course, those of us who are doing the podcast. So we want to welcome everyone.
I do want to do a shout out to Monica. Monica is one of my really, really good friends and big fan of my personal YouTube channel, Moving Lackpost. So thank you so much for coming out here and listening to this.
Awesome. Yeah, Monica, welcome. Glad to have you. I think you were one of the people we were talking with earlier today about how to get here. It's kind of confusing. We created that page hoping we could help people find it.
Yeah, Jason does a podcast like this as well, but with Ninja Turtles. So he's the one that breaks all the news for merch and all that, everything Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, everything Ninja Turtles. Yeah, it's on I do a YouTube channel, and it's really hard to find. So it's called Moving Lackpost, and you'll figure out how to spell Lackpost, or Google search how to say turtle in Farsi.
We will include it in our show notes and make sure everybody knows where to find it. We were actually talking a little bit about Ninja Turtles before we got started tonight. That's part of the fun of being here for the live chat is we just kind of log in while we're setting things up, and we talk with the chat, and we talk with one another. So there was some good turtle discussion there. I'm a huge fan. I don't think you can be in your 30s and not grown up to be a huge fan of Ninja Turtles. Your parents were cruel to you if you were not a fan of Ninja Turtles.
Oh gosh, there's like so many times when I do conventions and that kind of stuff, and then I'll ask people like who've seen like Ninja Turtles and that kind of stuff. Everyone usually starts at the '87 series, but then I also have like the few that start 2003 and or 2012, but like they're clearly old enough to know the '87 series, and I'm like, what did your parents do to you?
Right. Yeah, so a lot of great content there, and so we will definitely link that so people can find it and start to follow, all the Ninja Turtle news. Like we try to cover the DuckTales news. I say try because it's been hard the last few weeks. Well, let's get started.
I think we're pretty much nailing it though. We're getting information out there first, and then all these other people retweeting it or copy and pasting our own stuff and their stuff. So I think we're doing a good job.
Yeah, high quality Underoos news.
I'm excited about that Underoos news.
I have the complete set. I don't know about you guys.
I wish there was one size bigger because they're kind of uncomfortable, but whatever. Let's talk about Marshmallow. You guys check out the video. We talked about it a little bit last week, only in the intro. It somehow ended up getting cut out of the episode. I don't know how that happened, but it did. The conversation, I guess, wasn't that interesting, or maybe that's all there was. But did you guys check out the video for this week?
Marshmallow, is he just a whitehead Daft Punk? Are there more of these DJ people who don't want to show their heads?
All I know is that there's Marshmallow. His name is ours is saying his name is Chris Comstock. I honestly I'd seen an image of something online. The internet. You see everything, right? Seen an image online, but I didn't know what it was. Pirate was very familiar with his work.
Yeah, I love s'mores. I mean, the campfire. You get the chocolate and you smash it down with some graham crackers.
Some good stuff. Hey, I tweeted some pictures from being up in the mountains this weekend, and yes, I did have s'mores in celebration of Marshmallow's video. I had not seen the video yet, but I have to. I've seen it since. I saw it today actually, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it.
It's all instrumental. I believe they aired it originally during the big Radio Disney Awards.
RDMAs. Don't you know how big that is on Disney Channel?
It's huge.
What is it?
Advertise that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so Radio Disney Awards, they had this Marshmallow music video. It's all instrumental, and it has Scrooge and Donald and the boys in space. When I first saw that, I was hoping they would get some DuckTales, NES space music somehow in there, but it didn't happen. But yeah, it's a cool video. It's something different. I would like to see this on like maybe the next DVD release as a bonus feature. I think it's a neat little addition there.
Yeah.
The
It's kind of
animation
neat
was
that
top notch.
they animated Marshmallow himself too in it as well. So it was he was like, included in the video.
Launchpad was not in it. I was a little disappointed by that because if anyone's flying in space, not there.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they like crash the ship or the ship tore up or something? I mean, I would expect Launchpad to be involved.
Yeah, Marshmallow's got 1.1 million followers on Twitter, so he must be pretty big.
He's a little bigger than we are.
Pretty big deal.
We all know about him, and
Yeah, we do.
but yeah, like how I saw him, I had no idea who he was. I know who Daft Punk is.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw him. I was like, I guess more people want to be Daft Punk.
Mm-hmm. The video's got 2 million views already, so it's getting out there.
And that's good for the show because there's some people, we've been talking about this since day one. There's some people who didn't know DuckTales had been rebooted yet. Now they're seeing it going, wait a minute, DuckTales. I didn't catch this. Was DuckTales on the screen at all? Like the title? I don't remember seeing it.
No, just in the name of it, it says DuckTales.
Okay, well then there you go. That will point people in that direction. So It was cool. It's really cool that they did it. That they worked together. That they put that together, and I can't wait to share it with the girls. They haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm just fast forwarding through real quick. So DuckTales is at the beginning. It says Marshmallow X DuckTales.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does say that.
The official yellow logo. So.
Oh, it does have the logo. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's because you're jamming to the tunes.
I like some techno music. Now listen, when I was in school doing schoolwork, I listened to a lot of techno music, but it was on Spotify, so I don't know who it was. Techno was my paper writing jam.
It's there, and I already forgot what the line was because usually those things only have like one line, and then they repeat it to be memorable.
The line in the video.
Yeah. It was like something I want to fly or something like that. I can fly.
Yeah. Hey, Eric's telling us in the chat that he was at Donald's Dino Bash in Animal Kingdom 2 weeks ago. And meeting the DuckTales characters, there were people there that did not know. And yeah, it's true. I mean, people are still finding out about the show. And, that's why it's important for, us as fans who want to see the show succeed, that we, spread the word, share it, and let people know. I still talk with people at work about, about the show. And it's funny because there's people, my age that they're like, really? They've redone DuckTales. That'll be great for the family. I'm like, yeah, my family, we get together and we watch it. It's a big Saturday morning thing. And, just get the news out there. And I think this video is going to do a lot of that.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe if Eric was actually there because he didn't tweet us any pictures.
Totally didn't.
So...
Now, it was only 2 weeks ago, and I can speak from experience, that kind of trip, it takes a while to get caught up enough to share pictures.
All right, we'll give him another day grace period.
I'm still trying to slowly share mine, especially for the Sunstash Sundays. We had so much fun with those Sunstashes. We got to get going, but I'll plug them again. The DuckTales Sunstashes at Walt Disney World are so much fun because every duck character you're going to have a blast with them. Guaranteed.
Ooh, that's a good guarantee.
It is a good guarantee. All right, let's move on to the next news item because we spent way too much time on Marshmallow.
Yeah, let's keep this an hour.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah, we got 40 minutes. We've got some news about the Gravity Falls DVD and Blu-ray Collector's Edition. The bonus features have been released. We've been excited about this and been talking about it. Pirate's a huge fan of Gravity Falls. I'm a new fan of Gravity Falls, and I'm pretty sure everyone else here is a fan. Why don't you tell us a little bit about these bonus features?
Oh, you passing the baton to me?
I am totally. because I know you know what this stuff is. I'm looking at it going, oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to start Gravity Falls Talks on Twitter. That'll be the new account.
Yeah.
And podcast.
Grav Falls Talks.
Yes, Gravity Falls, one of the greatest animated shows ever, is having a Blu-ray release that no one thought was going to be possible to get a Disney television animation whole season on Blu-ray and DVD. And
Not released by Disney. Not released by Disney. That's a big shocker.
Right? So you can get it from Shout Factory's website. You can get a exclusive lithograph, and they're going to have be giving away some signed by Alex Hirsch, the creator and voice of Grunkle Stan, randomly if you order from Shout Factory. But it's also available on Amazon and Target and all those other fun places that sell DVDs and Blu-rays and such. So let's get into the good stuff. So Alex recorded a commentary on every single episode. I believe there's 40 or 45 episodes, something like that. And he has a commentary on each one, and he invites some of the other voices and celebrities to be on that as well. So that's kind of cool. We got there was a new documentary called One Crazy Summer. It's an hour and 45 minutes of interviews with the cast. So that's a cool retrospective on the show. The show it's based on these twins, right? Mabel and see, I'm such a big fan of messing up the people's names.
Dipper.
I'll just take over from here.
So Alex Hirsch and his sister are actually twins as well. So it's kind of like based a lot or semi-based on his childhood growing up and the relationship he had with his sister. So there's a retrospective on him and his sister and them growing up. There's deleted scenes over an hour of never before seen content. There's a Between the Pines episode, which is kind of like a making of that appeared towards the season finale. And then this ton of shorts and interstitials and all these little shorts they made for the Disney XD channel to support the show. So all those will be included. And promos and more question marks. So this thing is packed. I have my copy reserved. And the other cool thing is on that same day, they have a new graphic novel with 4 new stories from Gravity Falls, which is really cool. Do any of y'all have those ordered?
I have that pre-ordered. And it's already dropped down in price once, didn't it?
The book went down to at least $15.
Nice.
Which is great for hardcover.
It's making it that I can't order some stuff I would like to. I barely got the okay to get the Kingdom Hearts collection.
Ooh, it's brutal. And then you got to pick between Kingdom Hearts or Ninja Turtles, and
man, it's hard being a fan.
It is hard being a fan.
It is very hard.
I have separate bank accounts, so that's kind of how I get around it.
I might need to go the pirate way.
You
Make
know,
my own bounty Wells Fargo account.
I just advanced to level 2 in the chat.
All right, you're feeding the meat bot.
GG.
So yeah, that's Gravity Falls in a nutshell. Great release, both the graphic novel and the Blu-ray. It's gonna make a lot of Gravity Falls fans ecstatic. And it's kind of funny. Gravity Falls is one of those shows. It's only 2 seasons long, but all the merchandise came after the series finale. Kind of like all the Disney Afternoon merchandise is coming out 20 years after the show. So
when we can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're adults and you have money and you can buy toys, that's the time to get them. So
It was ingenious.
Very cool summer.
They were playing the long game. I thought that was funny.
I laughed real hard.
Yeah, I laughed at
My mic on mute when I laughed. Though.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Everyone's excused. Let's talk about the life and times of Scrooge McDuck. We talked about this. Did we talk about this on the last podcast?
We talked about how we wish they would have it or re-release it, and then it happened.
Yeah, so all of this happened right after we talked about it. We were like, we really wish someone would do it, and IDW or Dark Horse, someone, whoever can get a hold of the rights to republish this, or and then it comes out the next day. But it was called, what was it? The Complete Life and Times of Uncle Scrooge.
Yeah, which is totally wrong.
And I was like, well, maybe there's been previous printings and they just wanted to differentiate. So we were tweeting about it and talking with people about it on Twitter. And Don Rosa's Twitter account responded to one of those tweets. Now, we know Don Rosa doesn't respond. He's not on Twitter himself. He has someone who does that for him. But they said it will be 2 volumes, because that was the question that was raised. This says volume 1. How many volumes will there be? And I immediately went, oh no, $30. How many can there be? But Don Rosa's Twitter account says it will be 2 volumes, book 1, the complete main series, and book 2, the bonus chapters that are not part of the main saga. And they also said the ugly preview cover and the wrong title will be changed for the final book. So good news for all.
That is good news. And it's currently, it's already on sale it doesn't come out till February, late February. I think it's even on like leap day, February next year. And it is the ugly cover. I'm so glad.
It was.
So glad he brought that up. But yeah, if you wanted to buy this, The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, it's expensive out of print right now. Jason, do you have it?
I don't have the actual. I don't have this one actually.
Okay.
Because I have some of the one-off issues. This is actually something my friend and I, we've been so we've been going to Dragon Con. I don't know for God knows how many years. But Don Rosa goes to Dragon Con like almost every year. Like when we start getting to know him and everything, and we both have like several prints from him and everything, and like we've been like asking like, hey, is there, because everything else has been out of print, so like they've been insanely expensive, and we're like, any chance? And he's always like, oh, I don't know, Disney owns it, whatever, blah blah. So when we found this out, like we went nuts, and like we both pre-ordered it like immediately.
Yeah, it's a great deal. It's down to $25 now, and a lot of Don's books that start off at $29.99 sometimes go on sale to $20 or even $17. So if you pre-order and order it now, you get the price guarantee, and you don't get charged till February 29th or whenever the heck it comes out. But I recommend it. It is a great series. I actually just got it in the mail today from the library. The nice covers and the real expensive editions, like what I have in my possession now, are a couple $100 worth of books here. But I'm gonna read it and then reread it when the copy I actually purchased comes to me. I think it's great for everybody to read and educate themselves on these chapters, and also it's a great collector's item, and I would definitely get it signed by Don the next time I see him.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. And like Don loves it when you bring him stuff that like is from him. He doesn't love it if you give him a DuckTales DVD.
I'd be afraid to, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm hoping to make it down to Dragon Con this year, and I'm planning on not missing him like I did last time.
Actually, you should hand him a DuckTales DVD and film it for the site.
Oh yeah, that'll go well.
Totally should. I will.
Jason will film it while you
hardest to come to Dragon Con this year if you do that.
What was that?
Do that. I will make it my hardest to come there, because I'm not going this year because I have a son that will be born on the same weekend. So, but if you do that, I will like miss my son's birth just so.
Well, we won't go over it again, but Pirate's got a good story of walking up and saying, "I see your sign, but I would like to."
Well, he was gonna rip my head off too. He's like a grumpy old man, but like a lovable grumpy old man. He's very funny, very personable. Everybody needs to meet this guy. There's an awesome documentary Blu-ray DVD that's coming out later this year about about him, and everybody should check that out as well. And we're actually gonna try to get the director of that onto the show, and he's gonna talk that up about that release that's coming out later this year. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people who don't follow the comics, I didn't, don't realize how big they are in other countries. I mean, once we started getting involved in DuckTales fandom and Disney Duck fandom, because it branches out much further than DuckTales, start to realize, I mean, I look at some of the list every day of the different countries that visit our website, and I'm just floored by the number of countries that are following all this duck information, and it's nuts. But Don Rosa is a huge deal overseas.
Don Rosa is the David Hasselhoff of Italy. They love him, and we love him too, and we can't wait for this release. It's very exciting that they would tell us right after we asked for it on our show. Maybe we had some. No, we didn't have any pull there. But
in my head canon, we do.
Everybody needs to get that.
Yes.
Cool. All right, so let's look. We got this was a funny story. We were talking about the Three Caballeros last time as well, because my girls are kind of obsessed with them right now after, we just visited Walt Disney World a few weeks ago, and in the Mexico Pavilion, there's the ride, and our experience with the meet and greet with Donald in Mexico was just amazing. It was a fun time. And so I showed the girls some of, what I could find online of the characters, because we were kind of hoping we'd get to meet them in Animal Kingdom. I didn't realize Jose and Panchito was no longer doing the street dance, or I don't remember what the show was called, but I didn't realize that had stopped. So kind of a letdown there. But, got to meet Scrooge and Launchpad, so that was short-lived. Anyway, we were talking about it last week. On Friday morning, on my way to work, and I stopped off to get a coffee, and while I'm waiting in line to get a coffee, I get a message from someone who says, "Hey, have you seen anything about Legend of the Three Caballeros?" And I'm like, I know who the Three Caballeros are, but I've not seen anything about this. And so it was Danny. You may know her from our site as the Duck Avenger. She's on Twitter as the Duck Avenger, and she wrote some blogs for us. But she came across this show called Legend of the Three Caballeros, and she's like, nobody's talking about this. And it's been on since the beginning of June. It was like June 4th or June 6th that this show was released on a streaming service in the Philippines. And I was like, this is crazy. No, I've not heard anything about this. And so I'm like looking on Google, and I'm going to be late to work because I've pulled over in a parking space now to try and look this up. And I couldn't find anything except for her Tumblr account. Well, that was actually later in the day, but I couldn't find anything initially about the information. And even the app, when I looked it up, said it was in the UK. I couldn't find anything on it in the Philippines. But yeah, so she decided, we talked about her doing a blog on it at DuckTalks.com. It's our website, if you didn't know. And she also was talking about it on Tumblr with people, and it has blown up over the weekend. People got excited about it. Apparently, there is a Disney Life app that is being tested in the Philippines and maybe in the UK. I don't know if it's the same app or not, but it includes this show called The Legend of the Three Caballeros. And I thought DuckTales had a huge following. I can't believe the response I've seen for this.
So my wife, who is an animator, and she obviously she's international because she's not from this country, knew about the show and told me about it. Actually, I want to say last week, but asked me, it's like, oh, is Donald Duck like in another show? And because she was like, there's a show with him and two other ducks, and because like she doesn't know the characters,
right?
And like I was telling her, I was like, no, I think you're thinking of, and I totally blanking out what I was thinking of because she said it wasn't DuckTales, and I thought she was referring to the Mickey Mouse shorts, something like that. And as soon as I saw it from your guys' blog, I told her, I was like, oh my god, you remember that show you telling me about? Yeah, that's this show.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this show. I watched the original movie Three Caballeros, and when I was younger, and my wife loves the Three Caballeros so much, and when I showed her this news, she was so excited. But I was kind of bummed out that it's not available out here. And you'd think like if they release it somewhere, it would be like released everywhere. But I guess they're trying to get like a test audience on it, and it's. I don't know if they talked about it in our blog, but they're supposed to be Scrooge McDuck's supposed to be making an appearance at some point in it, right?
Yeah, Scrooge is actually in it. The April, May, and June, which is the girl versions of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, are in it. I believe we've seen Gladstone and Daisy is in it as well. So it's kind of like this, kind of like DuckTales, where it's a duck universe, or Disney character universe. We don't know who else is in it. I haven't seen any of the episodes. But it's very interesting. I think it is great. The surprise of not knowing about something Disney floored me that I didn't know about this ahead of time. But it's perfect for the streaming service that Disney's trying to put together, of having all these new shows and things that interest people and fandoms. Like Mitch said, I did not know the fandom of Three Caballeros went so far. All the DuckTales people changed their avatars to Three Caballeros this week. So it's like they forgot about the other show. But yeah, it's gonna be popular. It's gonna be big. I heard it's very funny. The animation looks very classic, and they have all these great characters to play around with. And the voice cast is also fantastic. Donald Duck, of course, is Tony and Selmo. Same as DuckTales. And Jose is voiced by the guy that does all the Beagle Boys voices in DuckTales. And I think Kermit the Frog from Muppet Babies is voices. And the guy that did the voice for Perry the Platypus is one of the annoying birds. So there's a lot of it's a great cast.
So we're thinking that this will be available then when that streaming service comes out here, right? Is that what
That is what everybody's believing. I mean, the streaming service is going to have a whole bunch of good stuff on it. The other one I heard is there's a Monsters, Inc. Television show that is going to be for the streaming service. So Disney is not going to start off strong if this is where they're holding Three Caballeros back for that service. But it's available in the Philippines if anybody's there. I did see that some people were leaking it and put it in different places. We don't know anything for sure about that or where to go for that. We're not in that type of business. But the people that have seen it have given it great reviews, and they can't hold their excitement back. So they're sharing all these pics and little samples of it. So hopefully we'll get more news on it soon because the news is out there now.
Yeah, so I've spoken with a couple of people who have seen it, and Raku Usagi's in the chat right now. They've seen it, and we were talking about the app because I really think this Disney Life app is being tested in other markets because from what I'm hearing, it has Marvel, it has Star Wars, it has all of the features, and it includes Disney Now for live streaming of the shows for whatever's airing on the channels at the time. So it really sounds like this might be the building blocks of what we're going to see in 2019 in the U.S. And if that's the case, then it's definitely possible that we would see it, see this show on that app or that streaming service. I'm imagining it's going to be an app.
Yeah, this maybe this could be the one that replaces Disney Now and for this new Disney streaming service. I can see that happening.
How much is the streaming service cost overseas at this moment?
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. So there's like a mobile package that Disney has worked out where if you have a specific provider, it's like the equivalent of $2.50 a month if you already have this provider. But if you don't, it's like $6 or $7 a month, I believe.
It's still pretty good for all the content that sounds like it's going to have.
Yeah, and Rob Iger has said, not Rob Iger, is it Bob Iger?
Baba.
I don't know where Rob came, like as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, that's not right. All right.
Robert?
Yeah, it was Robert. Yeah. I got a special name for him, I'm the only one that's allowed to call him Rob. I didn't want to flaunt it, and name drop. And so anyway.
When you go camping and have s'mores.
Right. I just met Bob Iger for s'mores this weekend. It's no big deal.
One bang.
It's going to compete with Netflix for sure. I think a lot of people are just going to see Disney because I know a lot of people like Netflix because the Star Wars or the Marvel movies show up there a couple months after they're released. So if Disney doesn't allow them to keep doing that and everything's on this new service, people might switch. I mean, they're still going to have Stranger Things, but.
I believe the Disney contract for Netflix ends this year. I have to check. It's either 2018 or 2019 because they signed like a 6-year thing with Netflix, and I know they're like they announced a new app right coming right in the heels of their Netflix deal about to expire.
Yeah, and The Last Jedi just is on Netflix now. I know they're going to miss that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously switching to the Disney app, streaming service whenever it comes, and it sounds like it's going to be a great value. They've said they're going to try to keep it below Netflix price, at least initially, I think, as they start to build their library. And of course, all the news about the Fox, buyout and merger, that's all built around them having this added content and also the reach, because the Fox purchase will increase Disney's reach, to other countries internationally in sports and a bunch of stuff. So it'd be a good move for them. And I'm looking forward to the app. I hate, having another monthly service to deal with, but honestly, I'll probably drop one of the ones that I'm not watching anymore at that time.
Because who knows, you get ABC. Well, ABC's free anyway, but you could get something else.
Well, it should be on there. I mean, It should have Freeform and ABC. My understanding is it's going to include all of their channels.
I wouldn't be surprised about that. The only one I can see them not having is ABC because of the local affiliates. They are so stand their ground on their hey, we want this over the air and not on streaming services. I know that with the local channels.
Yeah.
But all their big name cable channels, I can see them on their streaming.
Yeah. Let's talk about Duck merch.
Duck merch.
So a lot of the news that we have is coming out of Target right now, and that's awesome. I know a lot of people internationally are they're not really complaining, but they're kind of down that they don't have access to Target. Check out Target's international stuff. I don't know that I think I've seen before that you can order from them internationally, but I happened to be in that same Target this week. It was, I guess, Monday. I guess it was yesterday. Sorry. I happened to be in that same Target, and they've increased their selection of Ducktales stuff. So now they've got the sheets, they've got the another fleece, not fleece. They've got another plush blanket and other bedding. They didn't have the full bedding set, but got a good look at a lot of this, and it's really cool. And there is Webby. We had talked about before. We've talked about the fact that we're not seeing Webby on as much stuff, but she is on the sheets and the bedding.
Actually pretty cool for Webby to be on there because, especially I know DuckTales is supposed to be marketed as a gender neutral show, but the fact is they're pushing more towards boys. So Webby to be on anything is actually a really good plus. Now, if Mrs. Beakley appears on the sheets, then we know they can just put anybody on anything.
Seriously, a Mrs. Beakley pillow. Oh, come on.
I want on the
Look
top
at
of the
that.
sheet is like Mrs. Beakley actually like tucking you to bed, like when you put your child, like you tuck it in there, you just see Mrs. Beakley's hand.
We've also got.
We went to a dark place there.
No, that was cool.
Thank you.
I want the large pillow with the twitching eyes.
Yeah, I believe these are only like twin size sheets. My kids have full size beds, so fortunately we can't go down this route. Womp womp.
Well, they may have, but did you look to see if they have full size or?
I think they had
the
places for
website-
both.
On the website, it just says twin sheets. Maybe
You could
they'll
buy
have it.
2 twin sheets and sew them together if you weren't lazy.
There you go. Just sew them together.
Yes.
But the blanket.
Hey, last week we were talking about the figurine set, and people are starting to pick them up in stores. You all are lucky. My store didn't even know what I was talking about.
Don't worry, when they get it, you'll see like walls and walls and like mountains of them. Like because they just when Disney Store gets one of those figurine set, they just have 10 billion of them.
I hope they do. I want to see them stacked up at the windows, stacked up in the middle of the store, all over the place. It's funny because they keep telling me like there is definitely a line that they're giving me every time, because I keep hearing we will eventually have DuckTales stuff and there's going to be a lot of it.
Employees were told not to say no.
Right.
No was like a bad word for them.
Yeah, I struck out in Orlando and at my local Disney store. They had all they have left is Louie and Dewey plush. I'm not saying that's a bad thing; those are pretty awesome. But I've never seen any of those mugs. I've never seen. I mean, they have a couple of the shirts and the pajama sets, but nothing else.
The water
around
bottle.
here. I don't think I've even seen the water bottle here.
I've seen the water bottle. I haven't seen the puzzle.
But every time I see somebody post pictures or they tag us in these pictures for these figures, I get a little bit jealous. But also, I'm checking out the figures, and the paint jobs look great.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they're pretty high quality. And like Jason said, if there's a wall of 20 of them, I don't have to pick through 20 to find the best one. They all look like they're pretty great.
I've actually always loved those Disney Store figurine sets. Them since like whatever year Disney bought Power Rangers, because I have every single Power Ranger set they made for that. And then we recently I think the most recent one we got was Tangled the series, because my wife loves that show. We got Aladdin, we got every time they make a Disney Princesses one, even though it's all the same except like they'll change 2 figures. I have to buy that one for my wife. I've always actually loved the quality of these figures. Like these are always like my favorite ones in the Disney stores.
Well, that's good that your wife collects too, and then you just got to convince her that she wants something that you want, and then you go, "Oh, let's buy it for you."
Exactly. Well, like she already wants the DuckTales ones because she loves the way that they look. So I'm like, yeah, exactly. And then just luckily, like we both like Disney, so it's not hard for me to convince her with that. But then it goes into the other stuff like that she's not that interested in. And she's like, no, I tried my hardest to make that nursery Ninja Turtles. It just was not happening. She just didn't want a nursery full of turtles with weapons in their hands.
Yeah, my wife enjoys the
You
Disney
need to
stuff.
give her 2 options. You say we can do Ninja Turtles or Darkwing Duck. Which one do you want?
Darkwing.
Actually, you know what? And I think she would actually be totally okay with Darkwing Duck. We did settle with Dumbo though, because Dumbo is very, and he does not carry menacing weapons that can harm people, except for that feather. That feather's dangerous.
Yeah, my wife likes the Disney stuff, so we typically purchase when we're there if we find something we like. But no more plush in our area, and striking out on the mugs as well. So
I haven't even seen the mugs in my area either, but I live in like Podunk, Georgia, where we have nothing. We just discovered electricity last night.
apparently not far from you, because my Disney store didn't even know there were figures. So
Welcome to the East Coast.
yeah. However, talking about figurines,
I like how they call you the DuckTales guy too when you walk in.
yeah, with the Ducktales family.
That's right.
Now I get my girls to go ask, give them the big eyes. Do you have it? You sure there's not any in the back? All right. But we're talking about figurines. We've got big news for those of you who are going to San Diego Comic-Con. There was has it been an official announcement? I know it was the San Diego Comic-Con actually posted an article about this. So that's official, right?
We talked to Sean from Fat Mojo about it, and looking at Fat Mojo's website, they really don't make many announcements or official stuff. So being on the SDCC blog is as official as it's probably going to get.
So it's out there. There's golden figures. Now these are the same figures that you'll be able to find at Target that will be painted, but these are painted gold. They look really good. I can't decide if I need them or not.
I kind of wish that they had a few different figures or something, just because it's just being exclusive. That way, it kind of gives me more reason to go after them.
Only reason I like it when exclusives are the same figures but different paint is because it makes it that I can save money and not worry about buying them.
That's a good philosophy.
NECA!
Just they could have just added a Goldie in there, and that would have made perfect sense.
Oh yeah, then they would sell it immediately. There's 1,000 of them, and you can buy two. Each person can buy 2 per day. So who knows how long they're gonna last? There's a lot of flippers at like conventions like this where they just buy it and try to double their amount or pay for their convention with just buying merchandise. I know on eBay there's already pre-orders for a couple of these figures, and they're like between $60 and $80. So yeah, I feel like they're gonna be hard to come by, but you know what? At least you can have a good chance of getting the colorized versions at Target, which is great.
Yeah, and they're like you said, they're gonna look great. And you shared on Twitter. There's a lot of people already got them for like $68 or basically $70 and above. Couldn't believe that.
Yeah, that's how people roll. They, it already, and you gotta know. Sounds like it's a really big deal in the price, but it's costing somebody $60 to go to this event, and you're paying for their convention time, really waiting to purchase these things. So it sucks that there's a markup on it, but sometimes you gotta eat that cost so you don't have to. Because conventions can be miserable sometimes too, waiting in line and trying to buy stuff. So if you really want it, definitely try to find it online or make friends that are going to Comic-Con and will pick it up for you. But like I said, if you don't get it, don't be disappointed, because it's going to be a Target in the colorized versions sometime in July.
And it honestly will look better. But if you go, pick them up.
Have you ever been to Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con?
No.
I've been outside of it when it was going. Does that count?
It's full of flippers. You have people like that are literally there to buy a ticket. They buy tickets for a big group, and because it's a lot of vendors. They buy like a group ticket for like 10 or 20 of them, just to stand in line at the dealer's room all day and wait whatever, how long that opens, like 7 hours. They just keep standing in line to buy as many of those figures they can so they can flip them out.
Wow.
But that is what a con is in a nutshell.
If you pick them up, definitely get some pictures and share them with us. Let us see them.
Yeah, and if you get extra sets, share them with us as well. I'm the kind of person, so I don't think I need these, but if I'm able to get them, I'm sure I'd buy them. But I don't know if I need them, but I would if
That's where I'm at. Like, I'm thinking about it, but at the same time, I don't know. But let's talk about.
It'd be cool to have, and it is the first real figures and exclusivity stuff with DuckTales. So,
Unless you count the patches from last year.
well, yeah, they have. I mean, they have different promo stuff, but
Yeah.
and like last year at Comic-Con, their DuckTales exclusive was DuckTales number 0 variant San Diego Comic-Con cover. So they have had a DuckTales exclusive at SDC. These figures are kind of special and cool, and we love Fat Mojo. So, yeah, go get them. Get multiples. Let us know what you got. Send them to us. And, yeah, can't wait to see them.
Yeah, we're just going to briefly mention these briefs. There's underoos out there and adult boxer briefs. So you should check those out online because we got to get moving. I'm sure everyone doesn't want us to talk about underwear anyway.
Yeah.
Josh was going to explain the underwear.
Yeah, there was something about you were going to do a blog with pictures.
Oh, pictures of me wearing them. That's what it is. I'm gonna model the DuckTales underwear.
That's what I came to this podcast for.
We promised to talk about the underwear. No, we're going to move on just because of time, and unfortunately, I know Josh has got to drop out. So, Josh, we appreciate you joining us, and have a good evening, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll talk to you guys later.
See you, Josh. It was nice meeting you.
Good night. Yeah, that's nice to meet you too.
You'll have to catch the episode later to find out about Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I will. Good night, guys.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, so let's talk about Kingdom Hearts. I know there's 2 reasons. Well, there were 3 reasons why people are here tonight. They wanted to talk about 3 Caballeros. They want to talk about Kingdom Hearts. And they want to talk about the latest episode of DuckTales. So let's talk about some Kingdom Hearts.
Woohoo,
What
Kingdom
is
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts is light. Don't you know that? That's actually a line from the game.
Oh, is it? Well, I know there's something about light and darkness.
Yeah. So it's light and darkness. All right. So Kingdom Hearts, in a kind of just an overview, just a story overview, like really brief, as brief as I can make it. So you have like these characters who are going world to world. The main character Sora, he's trying to find his friend Kairi. Donald and Goofy, they're trying to find King Mickey. They go around to each world, which happens to be a Disney world based off of Disney movie or Disney franchise. Like they just find out like Heartless and the darkness is like taken over, and they have to unlock these worlds with a big giant key that unlocks everyone's hearts. They'll put the Heartless back into the people who like lost their hearts along the way. From there, they find out like the leader who's actually creating all the Heartless is using all this to unlock the 7 princesses of light to basically take over Kingdom Hearts, which is pretty much a big moon that looks like a big heart. But that is where all the hearts go to, and that is Kingdom Hearts. That's like that, and I know that just makes it more confusing than ever.
All right, Mitch. Now you're going to re-explain it from what Jason just told us.
There's light and there's dark.
Oh, that's good.
There's a King Mickey.
King
There's
Mickey,
Goofy
yes.
and Donald who are trying to find King Mickey. There's a guy with spiky hair who's trying to find. Is it a girl?
Name's Kairi. It's a girl.
Okay. And they're trying to write something about the moon. Make it right.
You're way off.
You're right. They're trying to basically protect Kingdom Hearts because there's a bad guy out there who's creating Heartless, and
Heartless.
every time you create a Heartless, you remove a heart from someone, and that heart goes into what they call Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, so
That is just the first game. If I try to keep going further, I mean, like I said, 72-hour podcast.
So I guess here's. Go ahead, Pirate.
So these came out a long time ago. The main one, so PlayStation 2. I don't have the years on me. I don't know if you know by heart, Jason.
2 is when the first game came out, and I believe it's 2005 when the second game came out.
So these are a long time ago.
2004 is when Kingdom Memories
Kingdom Hearts 3
came
is
out.
coming out, and it's like 15 years in between. That's a lot. I mean, that's like waiting for Incredibles 1 and 2. That's how long people have been waiting for it. And people are foaming out of the mouth. They love this. It's based on Disney and Final Fantasy characters, and Final Fantasy has a big following as well. And it just took so long to, and they have side games. It wasn't just these 2 PlayStation 2 games. I think they were probably like 7 games or more altogether.
I say total, it was 7 games, not counting the mobile game, and 0.2. 0.2 is really just a glorified sequel, our glorified demo of Kingdom Hearts 3. If you guys haven't played that one yet, but yeah, like they came out with other games that are like made for handheld. They did not get the proper number because it was not done by the director, whose name is Tetsuya Nomura. It was actually done by another team, and like the way that Square kind of works is like they want to protect, like they want to make sure like 3 has to be like for that title has to be done with his name on it. So instead of like them like having like, hey, let's continue the story under Kingdom Hearts 3 is like, hey, we're going to continue the story under Dream Drop Distance, and like Birth by Sleep was, hey, we're going to go talk about the origin because we're allowed to do that. It was just their way, because there was another game that was coming out. It was called Final Fantasy Versus 13, and that took Tetsuya Nomura 10 years to make.
Yeah, so the reason why it's such a big deal, I mean, this is 2002, I believe we said it was, when it came out. It was like having Disney Infinity in 2002. It was all mixing all these different Disney franchises together. The Donald and Goofy would go to all these different worlds, and they would change their characters. And the storytelling was so great. The cinematics were awesome. The kid that saw dead people from Sixth Sense was the voice of Sora. It was a big production, and it sold a lot of copies. And it was very popular when it first came out. And they made that one sequel, and then they made us wait all this years to. And they kept saying, "Oh, we're making it, we're making it, we're making it." And finally, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out in January. I've had my pre-order for 4 years now. And there's multiple versions, and I believe Jason got the Big Daddy of them all version that's coming out.
Big Daddy of them all version. So I did have a 5-year-old pre-order, because I pre-ordered that once Amazon let me pre-order. Basically see that pre-order go. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the date now. It was like November 2000, like 2010, I think, something like that. No, I think 2013. And so I finally like canceled that, and I got the Big Daddy $200 version of it, where it comes with the deluxe version and 3 play arts figures. So I'm actually really excited about that.
Yeah, those figures look really cool. So one of the worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3, they go to Toy Story world, and whenever Sora and Donald and Goofy go to the world, they change their character likenesses to the whatever it is in that world. So they're very toy-like in these figures, and they're really cool.
Yeah, I really like that about the game when I'm looking at it. And there was the Monsters Inc. world as well, and I saw that there were monster versions of the characters.
Yes. And that's actually something I'm really excited about 3, because I believe in 2 you only had their costume changes maybe in like a total of 5 worlds between the 2 games. Don't hold me towards that. And then like in Dream Drop Distance, you had a couple of costume changes. But then like this one, it looks like almost every world. I think the only worlds I saw that there's no costume changes so far is Frozen, Tangled, and Hercules. I think those are the only 3 worlds I saw that there's no costume changes. So
There's a Pirates
What?
world that looks really, really cool with costumes, and I think it's based on At World's End. And I've seen a side by side with the cinematography from the movie and from the game, and I actually like the game. I thought it looked more realistic than the movie. But and there's a Big Hero 6 one, and there's other lands that have not been announced. But I mean, the mount. It's kind of like Disney Infinity. The bench is so deep of what they can grab for this. I think one of Sora's summonings that he could do is he can summon the Main Street Electrical Parade to go fight you.
So those aren't summons. Those are his. Oh God. Oh my God. Already forgetting what they are. But at the end of his like combos, I want to say limit breaks. It was the feature that was in Birth by Sleep. They're giving it to Sora in this game, but each of them is a ride. So there's one of like the looping pirate ship. That's in either I think it's still in Disneyland now. I don't think Disney World has it anymore. They have the teacup ride, Magic Railroad or Mountain Railroad, whatever that one is. But look, I think those are the only ones I saw. But like each of his ending finisher move is going to be based off a Disney Parks ride, which I'm actually really limit breaks. Thank you, Eric. But yeah, each of them is going to be based off a Disney Parks ride, which I'm actually super excited for. Summons. There's actually some really cool summons. We have Ariel as a summon that's going to be here. Wreck-It Ralph, Remy from Ratatouille. Yes, the Ariel summon looks so awesome. Oh my gosh. So I had a friend. She actually went down to E3, and she like recorded herself like playing the demo. So just to let you know, the demo that was available on E3, which I'm so hoping is going to come towards for us to play. You can play two levels. You can play Mount Olympus, obviously Hercules, and the toy box from Toy Story. And like the Mount Olympus is just basically just the Rock Titan boss, and that you just went up there and she just fought the Rock Titan boss, and then it died and everything. The toy box level, the demo had so much in it. They had like full voice acting. It was too loud. I couldn't tell. She couldn't tell if it was actually Tom Hanks and Tim Allen or not. But like it was like going through a big chunk of it. But they had like some voiced out cutscenes, and it was actually in English, which was fantastic because I was afraid it was all going to be Japanese. And like you just went through a big chunk of the level. In fact, it ends at one point in the Toy Story level. You go into a toy store and you get to fight in these big mechs, and that's like once you beat all the mechs, the demo ends right there. And I was like, oh my god, I want to see more. Like I mean, but yeah, like so. The demo looked great. She showed she was able to pull off some of the summons while she was there, while she was playing the game, and like I said, the toy box level, she played it for like I want to say a good. It was like that much of a beefy demo.
Now, is the game one player or is there multiplayer?
It is one player. They only had one game that had a multiplayer version, and that was Birth by Sleep. But in the PS4, that has been eliminated because it was only multiplayer if you played with multiple PSPs or played online. Okay. But this is a one-player game. Donald and Goofy are going to be like they are on their own. Your Goofy items, they will use it all like there's no tomorrow, and then when you're ready to heal, like you're gonna be like, oh, where's my items? And like Goofy goes, oh sorry, I used it all. And then like also with Kingdom Hearts 3, you're gonna actually have like more companions. Like in Toy Story, Goofy, you also had Buzz and Woody in your party, and they were all four was like inside your party. And like that's never been in a game before, because the other Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, you always had to swap out Donald and Goofy for one of the other characters from the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you've definitely have it comes out in January. You definitely have a lot of time to catch up because they remastered all the previous games on PS4, so you can catch up if you want. How long do you think that it takes to play through like Kingdom
Each
Hearts?
game, all right. So if you just play through each game, if you just want to go through it like just shotgun it real fast, I would say put it onto the lowest mode, which is I forgot. It's not like normal mode or easy mode. I want to say there's a different word for easy. It will, and if you just go through the story, it will take you about 5 hours each game. Just not going through like the extra stuff. Some of like a lot of the games, if like there's like secret cutscenes and you have to complete it basically 100%. Like to be honest, since you have all the games there, the secret cutscenes were just previews of like what the next like what was going to come up for the next game or eventual next game of the series. So about that one too much. The one that's going to take you a long time is Birth by Sleep, which is like actually my absolute favorite game from the handheld series. Birth by Sleep, you actually have to play that 3 times because you have 3 characters and each of them have like their own story. So each of them go into their own worlds. Each of them go to the same worlds. But fortunately, like when you go to like Cinderella's world as Aqua, and then you go to Cinderella's world as Terra, it's like 2 different sections. So it's not, you don't feel like you're playing the same game. Most of them have like different bosses for each other. Birth by Sleep will definitely be the one that takes the longest.
I feel like it's a game that I really do want to play, but I want to play it from the beginning. I don't want to jump in at 3. So I'm looking at my options here on the PlayStation Store. And so I can either pre-order the all-in-one and wait for its release. What is that, February of next year?
January of next year.
Okay.
Supposedly.
And that has everything, right?
Delay. Yeah, that's everything.
Or I see here that I can buy Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 remix and start playing it now, the first 2. But then I scroll, and that's $49.99. And I scroll down a little bit further, and there's Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, $59.99. So would I need both of those?
You would need both of those. Okay, so but if you buy the all-in-one package, which I totally recommend you buy, it's gonna be the 2 collection games, 1.5 plus 2.5 and 2.8. You will have instant access to 1.5 and plus 2.5 and 2.8.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so I would go with that one. So that way, basically, I mean, I'm surprised that 2.8 is still going at $60. I thought that would have been dropped down to 40 by now, but you do need both those. You do need both those games and thing now.
And then you'd be buying the 3 for $59.99. So it is definitely a deal just to buy the collection. I didn't realize you got instant access to those games that are already released.
Actually, when I was writing my blog, that was the first thing I checked. Make sure for recommending for a buying list that they were instant access or not, because it would have sucked if you bought them and then you have to wait till January to play them all.
Well, that was my hesitation. I was like, I want to go ahead and start playing these now so that I'm ready for 3.
Yes. So you're ready for 3. Something else I recommend because you're new to Kingdom Hearts. 1.5 and 2.5 are not in release order. They are in this weird order because the game 358 over 2 days. they chose not to have the game, but the actual cutscenes. Recommend, like, after you play Chain of Memories or Re-Chain of Memories, because it's the remake of it, to skip over 358 over 2 and go into Kingdom Hearts 2 instead. Is because when you start Kingdom Hearts 2, you start the game with a brand new character that you don't know his backstory, and it's supposed to be a mystery.
Okay.
Watch the cutscenes of 358 over 2, he'll gets ruined because they will go ahead and tell you what his big mystery is. So like, that's what I recommend there. Like, and I think that's the only one I would say that to from their recommended playlist.
Okay. All right. Well, that's definitely something to think about as far as I think that sells me on the collector's edition, or not the collector's edition, the collection.
The collection,
yeah,
and then
package.
Yeah, and then like I wrote the blog and everything. In the blog, I wrote down like what I recommend for the play order and everything, just to, so anyone else, like, obviously when I'm spouting words like 358 over 2 and Birth by Sleep, and like, your guys are gonna go to bed and then be like, what did he just say? And like, was he speaking English? Man, let me know. I mean, you go that long.
Yeah, I'm going to be re-listening to this to make sure that I caught everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got to think of your priorities here. So it is July. It's June. We got the Spider-Man game coming out in September, and then you got some Red Dead Redemption 2 and some Super Smash Brothers. So you probably got a little bit of time in there to play at least Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah, you'll definitely have time to play Kingdom Hearts 1 and probably Chain of Memories. Just to let you know right now, Chain of Memories was originally a Game Boy Advance game, and they had like really awful controls, and they tried to translate those controls to and then eventually got to PS4. Your combat style is a card game. That's like, and so just be aware that the combat style is not.
It's going to be different. Very different.
But that's the only game that that's in this collection that has that. I'm actually kind of glad that they chose not to have the games of 358 over 2 and Recoded. Coded is definitely the worst Kingdom Hearts game of the bunch, and the only good thing about it was the story. So I'm actually kind of glad that the game, that game's actually gone from there. 358 over 2 had a weird Tetris deck system that you had to like try to fit all your level ups and everything. So it was just. Well, like it was just like weird how it goes, and still it was on the DS, and so it didn't like control perfectly. But the other two handheld games, which is Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep, they play like a regular Kingdom Hearts game, and they're both awesome. And I think too many people ignore them because they did not have the number 3 at the end of them.
Well, I'm gonna wait to read. Jason's doing a blog for us, so we'll get some more explanation on how this goes. Because I'm a gamer and I've played all these games, or the main ones, and even I'm a little bit confused. But definitely get your game straight and start playing them so you can get ready for Kingdom Hearts 3 in January.
Yeah, and I think Jason's blog is going to be ready to go tomorrow. We'll have it up on DuckTalks.com. Jason, we really appreciate you coming on and talking about the game. It has been the game, as a newly getting back into gaming, it was very confusing for me. And just the revelation that I can go ahead and start playing those games in that collection, that's a big deal. So that kind of makes up my mind, and I can't wait to read more about it tomorrow. And we really appreciate you coming on the show to talk about it tonight. And just thanks.
No problem. I've no problem doing that. If you ever want me to, if you ever want to come back, want me to come back again and talk more about it, I have no problems with doing that either. Or like after you play it for a while and you have some questions about it, I have no problem with talking about that either.
Oh, believe me, I will be messaging you while I'm playing.
I don't blame you there at all.
Well, let's move our conversation from Kingdom Hearts to the Golden Lagoon of White Agony Plains. I know some people in the chat have been waiting on this. I've seen a lot of Goldie in the chat. While we're talking, we've got people in the chat who are talking about all kinds of stuff. A lot of people have been engaged in the conversation about Kingdom Hearts, but I know some are also waiting on Goldie. So let's get to that. That was for this week. That's what everyone was waiting for. We knew. As for DuckTales, we knew that Goldie was going to be in this episode. We didn't know how it was going to go. I felt like this was a very satisfying episode. We're about to get into our review, and before we do, I didn't do it last week. I want to make sure I say spoilers, right? We're going to be talking about this episode. We're going to have a recap, and if you've not seen the Golden Lagoon of White Agony Plains, you might want to step away for a little bit. Pause it if you're listening to the recording, and come back after you've seen the episode. But, what are you doing if you haven't seen it yet and you're listening to a DuckTales podcast?
Exactly.
So
it was another hilarious episode, and it's classic, and it has like Scrooge a little bit into his backstory a little bit, and you get to meet a new character. So I thought it was a well-rounded episode.
Needed some Launchpad.
Well, he was in it though, and he didn't have a single line of dialogue, and he had one of the biggest laughs of the whole episode.
No,
so if you watch it, seriously, he's.
Before we get into our favorite parts, and we'll talk more about Launchpad, let's do our 30-second recap. I'm bringing up my timer. I've got the randomizer ready to go. Now, Jason, you said you were prepared to do this, right? You knew we were going to do this.
Yes.
All right, so here we go. We're going to, since you are our guest, you get to choose the first number between 1 and 3.
2.
All right. Pirate?
3.
And it is 2.
Alrighty.
So here, just let me know when you're ready to go. Just give me a start, and then when you're done, say done.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and start. Oh, this episode opens up with Scrooge going into a party for Glomgolden for some unknown reason, but then we find out that he had an ex-girlfriend, but from his ex-girlfriend, she actually used it to turn off the lights to steal some map. We find out that Scrooge and Goldie were actually frozen in ice together, and they had this map together, and they're trying to go to this. Goldie's backstabbing Scrooge. Goldie's also like dating Glomgold for some reason, but she's not really dating Glomgold. Glomgold has this ridiculous, awesome art animation wise of like his whole story thing, and we see that Scrooge and Goldie still kind of have like a little hardship together.
That was awesome. 44 seconds, but it's okay because you went into a lot of detail. Like,
that was good detail.
I feel like I just rewatched the episode.
Oh man, I know I should have cut out the art of the Glomgold thing, but I love that part way too much, where you just imagine himself as this big buff guy.
Yeah, that
I was rolling over.
When the season's over, we're gonna go over our favorite moments, and I don't see anything knocking that flashback scene of him, how he sees himself at the gala. I don't see anything knocking that out of my top 5 moments.
And that beard, that just majestic beard coming from that duck beak.
That looked like a Tanner Johnson beard, and he worked on the storyboard, so I don't know if he was looking in the mirror when he was doing that. So
yeah, he's got a mirror set up as he's drawing. I can see that.
Yeah, that looks incredible. I would love to have like one of those storyboards or something on my wall of that scene because I think that is hilarious.
Yeah. So this episode. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying I would love to have just that moment and scene of him just walking up to Scrooge, just framed up, right above my bed.
Oh, that was so funny. That and the launch pad. So the launch pad thing we're talking about, if you haven't seen it, is Scrooge is going on telling his this backstory, and all of a sudden they go back from the flashback, and he's in the car telling the story, and Launchpad is completely turned around in the car watching, listening to the story, and he's like, "Launchpad, look where you're going." They almost crashed, but that and it's a Glomgold episode. I feel like again he had a lot of great lines. The Glom calling themselves the Glomgoldy
right
couple was or
giving it a ship name.
Classic. That was classic Glomgoldy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was so funny. And he needed somebody to dance, so he picked Dewey, and he tells Dewey to dance less great than him, and he's like, "No, I can't."
He's like, "It's impossible." Yeah, Pink Pearl Apple in the chat has said Glomgolden. Stay Glomgolden a few times tonight, and that is a keeper. Yes.
So I love that. I'm gonna start saying that. I'm gonna include that in my conversation everywhere. And then Pink Pearl's gonna sue me for taking her trademark. No, that was my catchphrase.
Hey,
yeah, it's funny how if you were to ask me if Glomgold would be my favorite character of the new DuckTales before the season started, I'd be like, "Are you kidding me? It's gonna be somebody else."
Right.
But he is definitely my favorite character. It has nothing to do with he's the voice from the Reaper in Overwatch.
Well, you didn't know that at first, and you were already saying, "Yeah."
But he
is the voice of Blue Regard Q Kazoo. That is so much better than the Reaper from Overwatch.
Come on.
Blue Regard Q Kazoo.
Everything gets a lot of work, and he does a great job. The whole cast does a great job. But I need some Glomgolden merchandise immediately. I hope Fat Mojo's listening. They're probably not, but if we can get some Glomgold figures or something, I think we have a lack of that right now.
We do have a lack of that. I'll say my favorite part of the episode, because it's I kind of lived this at the beginning when Scrooge is stealing all the food.
Right.
That was my parents at my freaking wedding. I mean, because after the wedding and we had all this food that wasn't that still didn't get eaten or anything like that. They're like, "Oh, we gotta go." And they went and got Ziploc bags and started putting all that. And I was like, "We pay for the food. We're not leaving it here. We're not throwing it away." I'm like, "Oh my god." Yeah,
the kid's like, "Aren't you rich?" And he's like, "No, well, I didn't get rich by I got rich by being smarter than everybody, so that's why he's stealing the food from the buffet." And I think it's funny how he keeps that food on him at all times, it seems, in this episode. And Glomgold points it out and notices twice that he
he stole his food.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, that's it. I'm not doing buffets anymore."
when Scrooge is buying the supplies and he's like, "And some mustard for these tasty hors d'oeuvres," I lost it. It's like, that's great.
Glomgold's like,
"Oh my god,
those meatballs,
Swedish meatballs."
Big Glomgolden.
Classic Glomgold. So this episode was directed by John Aoshima, and John's done some of our favorite episodes. I noticed this today. He did McMystery at McDuck McManor, although I hope he wasn't involved in naming that episode. Beware the Buddy System. And there was one more. I think it was Great Dime Chase was the other one that stuck out. And the Mark Beeks episode. So he's worked on a lot of those that have kind of hung in our top episodes.
Yeah, this one had a good Don Rosa feel to it because a lot of the characters' designs just kind of look like from his artwork from when they had any of the Gold Rush comics.
Yeah, anyone who's had the complaint that there hasn't been enough Scrooge, this is their episode because it was all Scrooge. But the nephews. Go ahead.
I was just saying, this was like really all Scrooge. I know, like kind of like complaints is like I know they focus on the nephews a lot. I just like me personally, I don't like it when they have an episode where they exclude Scrooge. And like, but I liked the balance between Scrooge and nephews in this one because they had their spot. Scrooge has his spot. Obviously, we're more Scrooge focused this one, but they didn't really exclude anyone out. I mean, they even had Launchpad in there, and they didn't have to pay that voice actor for that one episode. For that episode,
and Webby was in it too, and they she won't get credited for her voice because she was just tied up in a closet.
Just FYI, that is a smart tactic of animators. What they do is they want a character but not pay someone for the episode. But they don't talk or they gasp or something like that. If you ever see that, that is why. Like you will never see an episode like where someone is going to have just one line because that costs too much money to have just one line.
I want to know where Duckworth was when she got into the mansion and tied everybody up and put them in a closet.
But Duckworth's on vacation.
Handle business.
He's playing golf.
What's haunting? Like kind of like little monitor room and just not caring. I don't know. He didn't like Mrs. Beakley.
Yeah, it was the whole. Well, she got herself into this mess. Let's see her get out.
He probably tied her up as well.
I really liked, and I saw it in the chat as well. My girls, we were having a lot of fun with the nephews with their Scrooge has got a girlfriend because my girls do that kind of stuff all the time. And then when you've got Dewey and Louie who say something, and then Huey's like, "Man, I hate being the third one."
I like how at the gala the name of the dinosaur is the Glomosaurus Rex.
And they just pieced all these pieces together.
Yeah, and Huey's like, "Why? How did they even know he had a crown?"
And Goldie was great. I mean, we've not talked about Goldie yet, but
yeah, we hardly talked about Goldie. Goldie was awesome, actually. I actually really liked her. She was like, I liked from like the comics and the original series where like she was like this kind of redneckish person with a shotgun, like that was like kind of like low class, but like obviously there to hunt down gold, gold rush and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He brought up the fact like they're like, Scrooge, how old are you and everything, and we froze them for 5 years, so that gives the reason why Scrooge was still alive during the gold rush.
Yeah, and her intro about stealing from kids and only if they had something I really wanted.
Yes. Yeah, Goldie was great. I really liked her. I kind of like. I like that they with Scrooge and Goldie they kept that whole 1920s origin story. They like kind of Captain America him, just to
5 years of his life stuck in ice.
Me personally, if I was a writer, I would have probably gone with like 10, but but I'm not a writer for DuckTales.
Yeah, he's got some years to spare.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute here. Only 5 years?
So
but then they went into it like how they look so good now being their age because they had all these demon worlds and all these adventures that they've been on. And then she was like, "Well, I caused that uprising," and it was good back and forth between the two of them. Hopefully we get to see her in a future episode. There was that little cliffhanger type thing where if you want some more gold in your life, come find me. And I believe that is a reference to something directly from a Don Rosa comic as well.
Right. I can definitely see that. I mean, something I've been noticing from the show is like almost like this cliffhanger moment, just to be like, hey, these stories are never over, like, so they can obviously keep the door open for these people to come back.
Yeah, because even in the classic DuckTales, they had at least, I don't think at least, I think they had 2 Goldie episodes, so we need to bring her back. She was great.
There's the one Valentine's episode I remember that premiered in NBC at prime time, and she only shows up at the end to shoot the Cupid girl who was trying to have Scrooge McDuck like fall in love with her. That's the one. That's the one I always remember.
What did you guys think about the
Eric?
What's that? Oh, Eric remembers watching that episode as well.
Oh, good. Eric's as old as us. Great.
Exactly.
Would you name this episode "State Glomgolden"?
Hey, Pink Pearl Apple. If we can use that, we'll use that as the title of this episode.
I'm actually 17. I actually was frozen in ice for like the past 5 years as well as Scrooge. Just to let you guys know my age.
What'd you think about the double cross? Or the double cross? However many double crosses there were in this episode?
It was like a lot, because all right, I was expecting a double cross and everything, and then I was like, okay, another double cross. And I like that. Just going. It was something. I was definitely expecting, but it didn't like ruin it for me. But I like that they're like, oh, here's another one. Like, no. She was like, no. I was actually not with Glombo the whole time and everything. And then like the reveal at the end. I love when shows and cartoons do this. When like they have like this one offhand topic of like, oh yeah, I have this thing that from Burns and everything. Obviously, Goldie said that. And then like it's such an offhand thing, you just forget about it. And then like with her big reveal, like from the gold and everything, you just completely forgot. Oh yeah, they mentioned that from the beginning. And it's especially cool for like repeat viewings. And you're like, oh, that's right.
Yeah, their whole back and forth was kind of like they were doing the tango, the whole episode of who gets the lead and who gets to be the head honcho. I like their relationship. I'm not really a shipper, so I don't know if I'm going to ship them. But yeah, let's go ahead. No, we're not going to ship them because I know that's going to make at least one person.
Wait. Are you telling me the pirate?
Upset. Wait, what? Yeah, I don't ship.
Pirate doesn't ship things. I mean, Don't you like own a ship? I mean, can we take your hat away?
We talk about shipping a lot, but we like to talk about it when it's free shipping.
Yeah, we do free shipping. We like from the Amazon Prime. That's the kind of shipping we do. But I think I love that we got a new character, and I can't wait to see the next one we get, which we will see next week in Doofus.
Yeah, have you seen the promo? The longer promo?
I saw it today as I was watching. Don't judge me, people. But I saw the preview and I was like, oh, that looks awesome.
So what were you watching when you saw the preview?
The Marshmallow. He's watching Marshmallow.
I think it's great that he's going to be set up against Huey. I really enjoyed that. And then we've got who was with the Beagle Boys?
Who was with the Beagle Boys? Louie was with Doofus.
Louie was with Doofus. That's right. And then Huey was with the Beagle Boys.
Huey's with some people at the Woodchuck people.
Yeah, they were Beagle Boys dressed like woodchucks.
Which we saw in an episode. We saw in an issue of the comic recently. Spoiler.
I haven't read any of the comics yet, but I'll get to it. I just been too busy reading the other comics.
And then Dewey's doing his own little thing.
Yeah, which is going to be the security system from that one image with the robot.
Yeah, I'm excited for this episode. I don't see any Launchpad or Glomgolden in it, so we'll have to see how it ranks. But
It's going to be like very like I think this is going to be one of those like we're not going to see Scrooge in it because they're going to concentrate more on the boys and how like they don't have brothers anymore.
yeah, but I hope we get some more Webby in there.
Well, I saw Webby in the background and everything. I have a feeling Webby's going to be the one who kind of brings them all together and be like, "You guys were related the whole time. How did you forget?"
Yeah, she's going to be with Dewey, trying to bring them all together. I think that's definitely what will happen.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Did you see? And we got the episode synopsis from the next episode. Did you get to see that after that one?
I haven't seen it yet. Do you have it up?
It's from the confidential case files of Agent 22. It says, Webby learns how Scrooge and Mrs. Beakley first met while she helps Scrooge rescue her granny from the clutches of rival spy Black Herring. So, April Winchell and Corey Burden guest star as Black Herring and scientist Ludwig von Drake.
All right. Well, this
I'm really excited about this. I want to know more about like Mrs. Beakley's like little past and everything, and how like she become like this super nanny.
Yeah, so this will be definitely a good one. Good one to see on that one. And Ludwig von Drake is awesome. And Corey Burden, he was the voice of Buddy from the Buddy episode.
From Chip and Dale.
He's done a lot of great work. He was the voice of Captain Hook on Jake and the Neverland Pirates. And now he's Ludwig von Drake, so that's kind of cool.
I'm sure he was in Gummy Bears as well, Eric. I just can't remember. But I really loved him as Brainiac in the Superman cartoon and Justice League.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he also does a lot of the rides at the parks, some of the announcements at the rides.
Huge Disney voice actor. He's like voiced like a bunch of Disney characters. He's like up there with Jim Cummings and Tress McNeil.
Man, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I can't.
I can't wait for that episode with just more Scrooge and Beakley and finding out. You know, everybody's got a theory on Beakley on what's the connection? Where did that come from? Especially since she's raised Webby in the house. So I can't wait for that, especially and Ludwig. So yeah, that's cool. Glad you shared that. All right, you guys got anything else?
I'm Glomgolden.
Glomgolden. Well, let's shut this thing down.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like I caused like a ton of people already leave here with my boringness.
Not at all. We're looking good. Hey, so all right, I think that's it. Let's close it down then. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate everyone in the live chat who's been participating. The conversation's been great in there. I've been trying to keep up with it some as we go, but I find that hard sometimes to keep up with the conversation that we're having and to see what's going on in the chat. But I'm glad everyone in the chat's having a good time, and we appreciate you being there. And Eric said that it was a great podcast. Actually, he said good, so he didn't say great, but we are glad that you were able to listen live, and we're going to try to do this as often as possible. And don't misquote me, I won't. I corrected it.
Next week will be great because I won't be back.
No, hey, Jason, we loved having you on. You're wonderful.
I love being here, to be honest. This was great. I loved it.
It's a lot of fun with the chat. It's been challenging for me, but it's been great. We're going to try to keep doing it. And so let's tell everybody where they can find us. You can find us at DuckTalks.com. That's our website. It's a blog. We keep it full of information all the time. You can also find us on Twitter at DuckTalks. You can also find us individually, and I'm at Infinirama616.
And I'm Pirate Steven at the Pirate Steven on the Twitter.
We're also on Tumblr at DuckTalks. I know a lot of you Duck fans are there, so we're going to try to be more involved there. Now, Jason, how can our listeners find you? Because they want to know more about Kingdom Hearts, they want to know more about Ninja Turtles, and they want to know more about animation.
Well, so I'll start doing some Kingdom Hearts actually stuff on our YouTube page. Find me personally at YouTube by looking for Moving Lackbush. Look for Team and T box unboxing, and you'll probably see that I'm the only person who's doing it. But I'm sure we'll spell Lackbush out there for all you people who doesn't know how to spell it. Me personally, if you want to find me, is at the Muzz on Twitter, and our YouTube page Twitter account is at Moving Lackbush. You guys like this, and I didn't bore you guys half to death yet. Come check us out, and especially if you love Ninja Turtle, awesome Ninja Turtle stuff.
Yeah,
I do the same thing. I do the same thing to Jason. I do to Mitch. Whenever I see Ninja Turtle stuff, I send it to him and tell him to buy it.
And we'll definitely include all that in our notes so people can find it and they can find you. And it's been great. And so until next time, everyone stay Glomgolden.
Let's go, guys.
Awesome.
See ya.
See ya. DuckTalks is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Any sounds, music, or audio clips played on this podcast are the property of their copyright holders.
And it always will be!